Right, we're live. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this Education USA webinar. And today we are going to have some special guests from New York. And Marcus, you are our host today.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Alejandro. Everybody, good afternoon and welcome. As Alejandro said, this afternoon we have a very interesting topic that is going to be brought to you by some of our friends and colleagues from New York. And they will be giving information about the opportunities of education that you have if you select to study in the city of New York. Very nice and wonderful city. So with me this afternoon, I'm going to let them introduce themselves and explain more about the institutions that they represent and the wonderful opportunities that they have for you. So please, if you have any questions or any comments about this topic, please put them in the chat and we will try to answer them as we get those questions. Okay, so good afternoon and welcome, Abdul, Fatima. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Please, Abdul, tell us a little bit about yourself and the institution that you represent.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to listen to us in this evening today. My name is Abdul Aziz. I'm the Assistant Director of International Admissions and Enrollment here at Queensborough Community College, part of the City University of New York. We have a wonderful presentation for you guys, but I just do want to make a side note. I've been to Peru. I think this is my 2 years in a row. I love the country. I love the cities, everything that you guys have to offer. So I'm always looking forward to collaborating with Team Peru, Education USA, amazing people. Thank you guys for having us today.
And Fatima.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, so my name is Fatima. I'm an international student advisor here at Brooklyn College, and we can get right into it because I'll explain a little bit more about Brooklyn College in the presentation.
Excellent.
Okay. I'll share the screen now. Okay. All right, so you guys can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So get right into it. So New York City is one of the most culturally diverse cities in the world. So you'll be studying and potentially working alongside people from all over the world. And through that experience, you build a lot of cross-cultural skills and adaptability that employers are actively seeking. And as far as careers go, as an international student, you do have the option of OPT, optional practical training, which is up to 3 years of US work authorization. And it's in a city where internships and employment opportunities across different industries like finance, tech, media, healthcare are just a subway stop away, right? So you have a lot of different opportunities here in New York. As far as academic pathways, New York offers both private and public institutes with various flexible liberal arts programs, which we're going to discuss a few of those options as well. Okay, so a little bit about CUNY, the City University of New York. It is a large public university system in the US, and we have over 26 different campuses, which are spread across New York City. 7 of them are community colleges, which you would get your associates there. QCC is one of them. And 11 are senior colleges, such as Brooklyn College, where you would earn your bachelor's or master's. Each year, we have over 275,000 students enroll across every level, and we have more than 2,800 academic programs to choose from. So whatever it is that you want to study, CUNY likely has something for you. Okay, so a little bit about our higher education system, or just our education system in general. So students typically start off with about 8 years of primary and elementary school education. Then they move into high school, which is typically 4 years. Once they complete high school, you get your high school diploma, which is the minimum requirement for higher education in the US. So as far as how it would work in the Peruvian system, it's the last 3 years, your third, fourth, and fifth, which correspond to the 10th and 11th, 12th grade of US. So upon completion, you are awarded basically the your secondary education certificate completion, which is equivalent to the US high school diploma. Okay, so your last 3 years are what we're looking for when coming into the US system. So you typically need a English language proficiency exam as one of the requirements for higher education. If you're not quite ready to take the exam yet, you can start off with the English language program, which we're going to get into in a little bit. So essentially, these programs build proficiency that you would need before entering a full degree program. So also, if you are looking for a extra affordable start option and don't want to commit to a bachelor's just yet, community college is a fantastic option. That's where you would earn a 2-year associate's degree. Then you can transfer over to a senior college to complete your bachelor's, which is an additional 2 years. Beyond that, you can always opt for a master's or, after that, a PhD potentially. So wherever you're starting, there is definitely a path for you here. Okay. You are muted.
So sorry. Thank you, Fatima, for the wonderful introduction to CUNY. Throughout this presentation, our goal is to tell you about CUNY, but also to keep reminding you how affordable and mobility these options are, right? One of the mobility options that we have here, entry point, is Port of Entry, also known as POE. It's a unique intensive English language development program designed to provide international students and new immigrants with the language skills, knowledge, and experience needed to succeed in higher education. If you don't already have your IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo, this is a great way for you to access university or college in the USA. After you complete your POE program, after you complete the POE program, you have a great opportunity to enter into a degree seeking program, whether that's at QCC, Brooklyn. You can also enter programs at other campuses as well. The POE program is designed for students who do not have the required TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo scores. You'll do 1 to 2 semester of English language training program, and then you'll do an exit exam. And once you're able to prove your proficiency, then you can move into the degree seeking program. Port of entry students are eligible for I-20s as well. Next. So community college, right? I've been to Peru 2 years in a row to attend the community colleges fairs, right? Where many of you guys already met me to learn about community college. But here I'm trying to reiterate what I've already mentioned in the past. Community college is a wonderful entry point, right? It's not the end goal, right? But it's definitely a starting point where you can work on to get to your dream destination of whether you want to graduate from Columbia, whether you want to graduate from NYU. These are great universities in New York. St. John's, where Marcos and his colleagues have great relationship with. So our students can typically start off at community college, do 1 year or finish up at their associates, and then move on to third year, fourth year degree program. We also offer excellent 2+2 program pathways with guaranteed admissions for our students, which we'll continue to talk about this presentation. Again, starting off at a community college can have numerous advantage points. Next. At a community college, we offer 2 different types of degrees, Associates in Arts and Associates in Science. Pathway support transfers to 4-year colleges. We also have AAS programs which emphasize on practical career training readiness, right? We have great programs in high demand fields such as business, computer science. Nursing is one of our most popular programs here at QCC, and international students can also participate in it as well. Early childhood education, criminal justice and engineering, science, and many more we have to offer to you. As I just mentioned, we also have short-term summer programs. Me and Marcos, we're working on something exciting for you. So if you have more questions and want to come visit for short-term programs, certainly get in touch with Marcos, Alejandro, or even me, and then we can tell you all about it. We also have a great ESL program, not just for F1 students, but for adult learners as well. So if you have family, friends in the USA that you feel like can take advantage of a certificate through QCC, definitely get them in touch with me, and I'd be more than happy to assist them. Next. Just to break the stigma that community college is a bad option or is a 13th grade in the USA, it's not true. Over 9 million students have attended a community college in the USA over the last few years, and the traction is getting stronger. There are a lot more applicants applying because they understand the value of it. It's not a scam. It is not a 13th grade. It is literally starting your college academic journey. Just because the labeled college does not mean that it's 13th grade, right? It's based on population, it's based on programs and things like that. But approximately 45% of all undergrad students at four-year colleges attended a community college at some point in their academic journey. I'm not trying to make this up, but if I was to go back to college again, I would probably start off at a community college, do 2 years, save some money for my parents because I was a first generation college student, and then be able to graduate. But I'm nonetheless very happy with my academic journey. I graduated from Franklin Marshall College, a small liberal arts college whose tuition was $63,000 per year, right? Over 4 years, I mean, I was very blessed to be able to get a scholarship. But again, over 4 years of 250,000, and I got my master's from Brooklyn College, where I spent only $17,000 because I'm an in-state resident, right? So again, there's disadvantage points that we'll continue to talk to you guys throughout this presentation. Next. A little bit more about Queensborough or Queen. Let's talk about Queens in general first. Queens is the largest borough in New York City. It is regarded as ethnically diverse and often called as the world boroughs. Over 2.3 million residents, over 150 languages spoken, and it truly reflects the melting pot where traditions, cuisines, and language from all across the globe blend seamlessly together. So Queens is a very interesting place, very nice place. I hope you can visit. And if you are visiting for the World Cup, let's go Peru. Are they in the World Cup? No? Okay, I'm sorry. But next World Cup. But again, if you are visiting for the World Cup, this would be a wonderful opportunity for you to come and visit Queens, visit New York City, and also watch some of the games played by other countries, right? But in Queensborough Community College, we have over 45 academic programs, 10 2+2 pathways with CUNY senior colleges, over 80 articulations with other SUNYs and private campuses. Research opportunities are available for all STEM and social science programs. Over 70% of our faculty hold doctoral or terminal degree. So just because we're a community college does not mean that we're just hiring just any professor, right? These professors are vetted. These are very top rated professors in CUNY. And some of our professors are also teaching is at campuses like NYU, Columbia, St. John's. So again, you are learning from some of the best, but also they are here to give you the knowledge of how do you take these skill sets and apply it to your next destination. A lot of great clubs and organizations on campus, over 40 of them. 12 athletic division 3 teams. So again, if you are someone that plays great soccer, I'll use soccer as a great, or baseball, right? If you play any sports and you're really good at it and your dream is to go to a D1 school and you don't get an offer of admissions, it's not the end of the world. Start off at a community college like us where we're very competitive. We have won a lot of championships as well. You do well with us, you get game highlights, game reels, and then we would also be happy to advocate to you about you to the next place, your D1 school that you're applying to. We have a 3D labs for engineering program, and we're probably one of a few schools in East Coast that allows students to use the 3D labs for their own designs, programs, and things like that, obviously with department discretion and availabilities. Despite the fact that we are a small campus, we have over 10,000 regular students studying on our campus. Very vibrant, very interesting. A lot of things are happening. Over 410 international students. We do have students from Peru. We do have students from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Korea, Japan, Myanmar, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, Turkey, Egypt, and many more, right? So it's truly a melting pot, and I'm very proud to say QCC has a wonderful international student experience. Our goal is not to just take your money and get you this degree and get you out. Our goal is to get you real life experiences, which will allow you to be successful anywhere you go. Once students finish up their degree with us, they often transfer to our CUNY campuses because we have direct 2+2 partnership, but also because of the tuition matches up very easily. Our students have been able to go to universities like Cornell, Binghamton, NYU, FIT, Stony Brook, St. John's, and many more. We are accredited, which means all the credits will transfer over with you to your next place. It's up to the next institution if they want to accept all credits or not, but we are happy to help you take on that transfer journey. We also have a dedicated transfer resource center where their only job is to help you to navigate through the transfer application process so it's a seamless process and you're not stressed. The goal is not say that you finish 2 years and you're confused about what to do next. The goal is to connect you with the right resources as early as possible. We do have a lot of great programs. I'm not going to go into all of them, but our top programs are in health and sciences, business administration, psychology, accounting, computer science, engineering science, cybersecurity, music production, liberal arts, and then you can also create your own major too through the liberal arts pathway. So there's everything and anything that you want to study here in CUNY. Next. All of CUNY, we are commuter schools, but a few of our campuses do have campus housing, such as Queens College, which is only 6 kilometers from QCC. Direct public transportations are available between both campuses. Spring, fall, summer housings options are available. But when you are initially coming in as an F1 student and you want to do dorm, the dorm typically says 1 year, which is fall and spring. That's the academic year. The good thing with it is that you are in a dorm, you are on the campus, and you have everything that you need. The bad thing is it's very expensive, and that's something that we'll talk about in the next few slides. Is that New York City can be very expensive. However, there are options to help it make it affordable, right? And that's why a lot of our students are commuters. They stay 45 minutes, 30 minutes away from the campus. They stay with friends, family, right? They are willing to sacrifice and save some money. If you're able to do that, then you'll be successful. But again, you also have the option to spend a lot of money um, to get the campus dorming experience and have a wonderful experience, right? I'm someone that was blessed to be able to get a campus dorming experience, and I appreciated that. So I also encourage to everyone my third year and fourth year, I moved off campus just so I could save some money too, right? So again, I am not new to this. Me and Fatima, our goal is not to just get you the admissions, is to help you plan your journey, how to save money throughout the journey as well. Next. The process of applying to QCC and CUNY Brooklyn are fairly similar. You'll apply through the CUNY application. One application as a first year student, freshman, you'll be able to put up to 6 schools on your application. As a transfer applicant, you'll be able to put 4 schools on your application. And we're really, the process is simple. Our goal is not to make you more stressed or your parents more stressed than you guys already are. We just need for you to showcase a proof of high school graduation from an accredited secondary school. If you're someone that attended a previous university or institution, you'll be considered as a transfer applicant, and then you'll need to do a course by course evaluation of those documents. Our TOEFL requirements is 53, IELTS of 5.5, Duolingo of 80. However, also keep in mind, if you don't have IELTS, TOEFL, and Duolingo, it does not mean you cannot go to school. We still have a conditional offer of admission that we can offer you. No SAT scores are required. And as far as the application fee, $65 for freshmen, up to 6 schools, 1 application, and you don't need to send them separate documents. Everything can be shared under one umbrella, and all schools will see it and will all make a decision. $70 as a transfer applicant, where you'll be able to put 4 schools on your application. Next. We do have a wonderful campus, over 37 acres of land, former golf club, very nice space. And I'm not saying it because I work here or they pay me, but I genuinely like staying here. Hence, it's like 6:30 and still I'm on campus, right? So I highly encourage you to take a look at it. We paid a lot of money to get this tour to put on the website. So again, review it, view it, let us know your thoughts and anything that we can improve to make this experience even better. Next. So affordability, right? The main theme of the presentation is to say how can you budget accordingly. At QCC, our tuition is only $8,088.60 over 2 semesters, which is 1 year. So roughly under $20,000 in tuition over 2 years of academic studies, right? You guys are very smart, right? I'm sure you've done your researches and you've encountered a lot of great universities. So compare and contrast the price tags of the different schools that you're applying to. Education is not just about the price tag, right? Just because a school is charging you $95,000 does not make them the best school. What makes it the best school is your journey, the people you meet, the professors you learn from, right? The friends you make, and the research and the opportunities that you take advantage of. So apart from the tuition, the most expensive part of New York City is really the housing, which is roughly 23,904. I believe me, I pay mortgage. So it's very, very expensive. But however, it's very easy to be able to save money as well, right? I always say this. We have 24-hour transportation system in New York City. I don't know many cities that have offered that, right? You don't want to be on a train at 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's just get that out of the way. But again, it's a 24-hour system where $2.75 will get you through the 5 boroughs. One time, and you get to, so $5 a day, you get to explore all of New York City. However, if you're someone that wants to take Uber and cab services, you're gonna run out of money, right? Transportation is very expensive. Books and supplies, as Fatima had mentioned, we have over 26 campuses. But when I was in grad school, and this is a real-time story, I couldn't afford some of the books because they were so expensive. So I would go to the library and I would search up the books, and it would tell me all the other libraries that has the same books. And once you're a student at one campus, you have access to all the other libraries. So again, if you are someone that wants to do the research and go above and beyond, and you can rent out books. Take it from me. Our strategy is that you get to rent out the books 3 times a semester. Ideally, by the time your third renewal is due, classes are already done. So you have used the resources for free and then gave the book back, and then you pass the class with the great grades, right? So again, another way to save money. Personal expenses. If you're not eating out every day, if you're not buying iPhone 29 or like the latest MacBook or like the Netflix streaming services, right? If you are able to contain your spending habits, then this 3,600 can be definitely saved. So we can already look at it easily. We can save anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 just by applying some changes. Meals, you should know how to cook. Peruvian food is amazing. That the meals are good. Definitely learn to cook from back home. So when you come here, it's easier, right? You could to go to a grocery or supermarket and then shop so that you plan accordingly. If you're buying a meal right now is like $18 here in the USA, and that only gets you a burger and like 3 fries and like half of a soda, right? So things are expensive. Learn to cook so that you can save money. Our direct cost is 8,000, but for an I-20, you must be able to demonstrate either $44,000 or $24,000 with the U.S. housing sponsor, right? I'm not going to talk too much about other colleges, but do your research and compare our I-20 cost and I-20 costs of other schools so you can really get an understanding, mobility and affordability. All right. So start saving some money here. And then when you go to the next place, then you get to spend the money that you saved, unfortunately. Next. Again, the topic of finance. And this is a very hard conversation. I'd rather have those conversation with you at the beginning of your journey than once you get to the middle and you say, oh, I didn't know this was possible, right? So on the right side of the page, you can see our tuition for 2 years is roughly $15,320. What does that get you? It gets you an extra year of OPT. So after completing your 2 years, your associate's degree, you can get an OPT. You can transfer to Brooklyn College, do your third year, fourth year, and then get another year of OPT. So total of 6 years of stay when you start off your journey with $15,320 in tuition. On the left side of the page is our typical tuition at a four-year campus such as Brooklyn College, where tuition is roughly $14,880 per academic year. Over 4 years, you spend $59,520 and you get extra year of OPT. From a community college, just because you use your OPT does not mean you cannot do another OPT when you get to a four-year college. So you get one OPT as an associate's degree awardee and another OPT as a bachelor's degree awardee, right? Altogether, even from the get-go, you could save yourself easily 1 year of tuition at a senior college, right? So again, affordability is something that we take pride in, and that's why a lot of our students are graduating without any debt. Compare this chart with NYU or Columbia. Nothing against those campuses, great campuses. My little brother goes to NYU, and we always have these kind of conversations as well, right? The tuition price, the price tag, you should look at how do I decrease that? How do I get to my ultimate destination by saving money? And New York City and CUNY can be that affordable destination for you. Next. Now on to our wonderful undergrad programs.
All right, so for a bachelor's degree, it is about 4 years if you're starting off as a freshman. And CUNY uses a credit-based system, so our students typically take about 15 credits per semester, fall and spring, and they complete their 120 credits in about 4 years to earn their bachelor's. For international students, they must enroll in at least 12 credits per semester to maintain their full-time status. And so before focusing on your major, all CUNY students have to complete their general education requirements. So these are your foundational coursework in writing, math, natural sciences, humanities, social sciences. So this is that flexible liberal arts tradition, right? And this is something that's all throughout America, not just New York. Essentially, the goal is to build well-rounded and critical thinkers, but it also gives you flexibility to explore different fields before having to commit to one specific major, right? So after you complete your core requirements, you would declare your major, which is your primary field of study. And then, of course, you have an option of doing a minor, your secondary area of focus. So a little bit about Brooklyn College. We do offer over 70 different undergraduate programs and 60 different graduate. I want to highlight our business school, which is, one of our most popular options because business is quite popular as a program. It is AACSB accredited, and that's a distinction less than 6% of schools have worldwide. So it's, a lot of business schools, if you choose to, move on the graduate level, or even employers look at, because it's a very respected credential within the business education world. And of course, if you are someone who enjoys arts, the arts program, whether it's television, screenwriting, film, our Fairstein School of Cinema might be something that you're interested in. We do have a actual working studio, Steiner Studios, where you would learn hands-on. So again, the application process is quite similar, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. You have a $65 fee that's going to cover up to 6 different colleges, transcripts, proof of graduation, valuations. For Brooklyn College, we do look typically for a GPA, a grade point average that's equivalent to about 81% or higher, but of course that varies CUNY, depending on each CUNY school. So as Abdul mentioned, SAT and ACTs are not something that's part of admissions, but it might be something you want to consider for certain merit-based scholarships. Of course, the English language exams that we accept are the following. And there's something to know about deadlines. So we do accept deadlines, even if they are submitted. We do accept applications, even if they're submitted after the deadline, but it is on a space available basis. So for our international students, we do strongly encourage that you begin the application process earlier so you have enough time for visa processing as well. Okay. Transfer students, similar process, right? For CUNY colleges under one fee. But of course, you would need to submit your official transcript from the issuing post-secondary institute that you attended. Okay. Oh, clicked on the link. Okay, so If you are planning on transferring from a CUNY community college such as QCC, you might want to look into the articulation agreements that already exist. So essentially, these map out exactly which courses to take so your credits transfer smoothly into your, say, Brooklyn College program, right? And you're essentially maximizing what you're bringing in and keeping you on track to graduate. Okay, so again, cost of attendance, just kind of breaking it down. Personal expenses is, of course, the highest cost on there. You know, whether you're from New York or you're coming in as an international student, it's expensive. It is what it is on that end. But of course, Abdul mentioned some tips of saving money on that. So our tuition is 620 per credit, 12 credits per semester, so it's roughly under 15,000. And again, it's 12 credits per semester for full time. So here's kind of a little comparison between two other very popular schools here in New York City, comparing it to a CUNY school. So it's almost double. So something to consider. Okay, for graduate programs, again, it's similar, except it's 75 per program. Again, you would need your transcript, but as far as requirements, it is kind of different for every program. There's some basic ones like letters of recommendations. You know, you might need a portfolio depending on which program you're applying to. Maybe a GRE score. It's a little bit more rare now, but you know, every program kind of has their own requirements, and of course, the deadlines vary as well from program to program. Okay. The estimated cost for 1 year is not too different from an undergraduate. It's $855 per credit, and it's 9 credits per semester for graduate students. It's a little bit more, but still, when you compare it to other schools, quite affordable. So, I actually had the option of attending one of these other schools, but I went with Brooklyn College instead. And because of that, today I'm not drowning in debt. So, something to consider. Okay, so as far as scholarship goes, we do offer different funding opportunities for students, including merit-based scholarships, faculty nominated, especially on the graduate level. But I do have to say that, you know, while fully funded scholarships are not available, there are certain partial opportunities, and they definitely are worth exploring. You know, every bit helps, and if you combine it with CUNY's already affordable tuition, your investment goes further here than most universities here in the US. Okay, a little bit about employment as well. So even though as an F1 student, your primary focus is education, there are employment opportunities. So each of these have very specific rules and regulations. So always consult with your GSO before committing to any of them. We have on-campus job opportunities, as well as the good thing about on-campus, actually, let me mention that, is even if you're attending, say, Brooklyn College, you can go work at QCC, you can go work at Hunter, because it's all within CUNY. So it gives you a little bit more options to, you know, for employment on campus. CPT is for internships that are tied to your coursework. And of course, the big one is OPT, right? 12 months of full-time work authorization after you graduate in your field of study, right? So if your degree is in a STEM field, you get a 24-month extension on top of that. So you have 36 months total, 3 years of authorized work experience, and that's a solid foundation in your career, right? It's a good opportunity. All right, so a little bit about the international student experience. So our office hosts events throughout the year. In November, it is International Education Month, so we try to go all out for it. We had World Cuisine Day, which was a gathering where everyone on campus kind of came together and shared their traditional foods from home. We have monthly international coffee hours, so it's a nice little relaxed space where international and domestic students come together. We get free coffee, tea, snacks, we play games, there's prizes, so it's a nice little place for you to interact with the rest of the campus. We also are a NCAA triple third division athletics program, so played a sport back home, you can continue here. We have over 150 different clubs that you can be a part of, or if you can't find the one that you like, you can always create your own. That's an option. We do have different study abroad opportunities as well, whether it's for a short term, a semester, you would still be earning credit towards your degree. And lastly, we do have various different campus resources, such as the Magna Career Center. That's one of our highlights. So you get free support adapting your resume to different US standards and preparing for the American style of interviews.
Sorry. Just like Fatima, some of my favorite events on campus are actually with international students, right? At QCC, we take tremendous pride in giving students an experience, not just the academic degree, right? I think one of the things that I learned in my academic journeys is that it's just not the books. You don't learn just from the tests, right? You also learn from your classmates. You also learn from your community. So to be able to have an international community where students can rely on each other at QCC is something that I take tremendous pride in. This picture is from our first ever, this one, second ever Thanksgiving dinner with our international students. As you know, as an international student, it's not always possible to go home when you want to. So a lot of us students stay back during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and things like that. So we try to host like a Thanksgiving dinner. It happens to be my favorite. I love turkey too, so I love eating. And great way to converse with students about their journey. Wonderful opportunity for the campus leadership to also see the international student and hear from them, right? Wonderful opportunity. Next. So I also host tea hour every semester. This semester I hosted it like a couple of weeks ago just to celebrate end of the semester time, unwind, right? Just to be able to just take a break from academics. So students come in and they don't have to talk to me about academics. We talk about favorite colors, favorite sports, we talk about what's going on in the world, right? So an interesting place just to be able to meet people from your country or make friends from a place that you always wanted to visit. So now you have a friend from another country that you can rely on if you ever want to visit that country. Next. Because of my international student, I also got the opportunity to go to my first ever hockey game as well, which was versus a team in Canada. We won that day. We also got a huge shout out on the jumbo board. So that just shows how much the community appreciates the international student population. This was a wonderful event, probably one of my favorites events so far. Next. And my last event that this has become a staple at QCC where our students get invited to the president's house to cook a meal with her. So cook lunch with her, we'll prep it together, we'll eat it together, we'll share stories together. Wonderful opportunity for students to share what their needs are to the president. Who better than the person that makes the decision on campus, right? And I'm saying this, I've been around a few different campuses and I've not seen a president that's more involved with the international student population. We're welcoming and opening the door to our house, and we don't even clean. That's the crazy part is that we just eat, we say thank you, we take some pictures, and we leave, right? But again, it just demonstrates the wonderful community and supportive system that I have here at QCC to ensure that international students are having a wonderful time and enjoying their journey here. Next. So connect with us.
Yeah, so you can reach out via email, but we're also on UniBuddy. So if you want to speak to students directly and get their perspective, ask them about their process and things going on campus, you can always reach out to them there. We also have a WhatsApp channel for different updates about different info sessions we might be hosting for prospective students. So you definitely reach out here. Or again, if you have any questions even after the info session, you can reach out on this email.
Likewise, here's my information. If you want to get in touch with International Admissions Office or me, I'll most likely also be in Peru sometimes in March, April next year as well. So looking forward to connecting with you there again. This is our campus. This picture is not photoshopped or chat GPT'd, right? This is really our campus, 37 acres of land, wonderful campus for you to find your own place, safe space, and a place for where you can grow into the leader that you envision. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdul, Fatima. It's been really a wonderful presentation. All this valuable information that we have for our audience here in Peru. And well, I want to thank you again for this. Hopefully, we will get a lot of students getting a lot of interest going to the United States and possibly to CUNY system education. So that's really wonderful. Edu buddies, I see that you are uni buddies. We are here edu buddies. So please, people here in the Facebook page, if you have any questions, if you have any things to comment, please let us know so that we can share your questions to our guests this afternoon. But before we have some of the questions, Alejandro, you just let me know once we have some. I would like to ask a question regarding some of the additional services that your institutions provide to international students. For instance, I was listening to Fatima that you were mentioning that you have DSOs. So perhaps for some of the audience that we have here this afternoon, what are some of those additional services that perhaps international students may have? What would it be, for instance, a DSO for them? What kind of things they could be doing for them, for our students, for the international community?
Yes, so a DSO is your designated school officer, and you definitely want to make sure you're in touch with them as an international student. They essentially guide your entire journey from, coming in and uh, different requirements that you have to make sure you maintain your status. If you ever want to take certain courses, drop courses, they make sure that you are staying on track. They can also connect you with different resources across campus. So if you need to talk to a certain professor, sometimes it's a little easier to get that done through a DSO, like with especially course requirements. Sometimes classes fill up or, you're not sure about something. It's nice to go through your DSO about that. Different resources, your DSO might be aware on different opportunities that there are going on campus, different, especially when it comes to, if you're looking for employment, they are definitely your point of contact that you want to go through, different opportunities, whether it's Social Security, getting a phone number, even different ideas for dorming, right? Because we don't have the actual dorms, but housing rather.
Right.
So, or if you want to travel too, they're your point of contact for all of that. They're essentially there to make your life a little bit easier and the transition a little bit easier into our school.
That's great. So that's like an advisor, right? That they could
Yeah.
be working with them and guiding them and helping them through all their life of education that they have in the States. That's great. That's wonderful. Okay.
I
Uh,
I just want to add, apart from wonderful DSOs all across CUNY, we also have dedicated career services office as well, and international students can also walk in and just be able to meet with career service advisors. I just hosted an info session specifically for my international students through the career services, so it was only focused on opportunities for international students. How do you qualify for opportunities? How do you get on Handshake? How do you do your resume buildings and things like that? So part of my process is that first year I do all this fun stuff. Second year I do all this career readiness, career building workshops with students to ensure that when they get to Fatima, that they are not asking questions about, hey, what is a OPT? What is a CPT, right? Rather, they'll be prepped. They're focused on the academics. They're focused on just becoming better at the next place. We also have a tutoring center where international students can go and get free tutoring services. If they're struggling in a classroom, they can just go meet with a tutor that's like the best of the class and are able to learn from those students. And then throughout finals week, we have dedicated like snacks, events, and things like that for international students to unwind and relax. We understand education can be very nerve-wracking, especially for someone that's away from home in a foreign country and learning with a lot of foreigners. So we definitely have safe spaces where students can go and relax, unwind, and just figure themselves out.
Now, for an international students that perhaps is not very strong in their English level, you were mentioning, Abdul, that you have these conditional admissions and they can go through the language center so that they can improve their level of English. So these type of programs that might be for a semester or an academic year, they would be departing the States with an F1 visa for the English language program. But if they would like to continue once they finish this program, they would like to start with their education at the community college. Is there some help from the university or your community college so that they can change their visa status?
Yeah, of course. So visa status wouldn't change because they would still be as an F1, right? So on my end, I mean that's actually what I'm doing right now is that our POE students have finished up taking their exit exam. So we're looking at those to see have you met the scores, right? Can you be
Right.
put into an English class and whatnot, right? Our goal is to be able to assist students. So yeah, I'll be here to guide them through the process of registering for classes for the next semester as a degree seeking students. We also have a dedicated international student services team that will work with the student directly to make sure their I-20 is updated so that they are not feeling lost or they're not feeling nervous, right? Along with that, students don't necessarily have to go through the POE program if they don't feel confident in their English speaking abilities. We have a summer workshop, which is free, right? It's 3 weeks. Students can take the workshop, and if they do well, they move on to English 101. In a case they don't do well on English 101, we have something called English 99, which is a little bit of the help aspect of it. They'll take English 99 and English 101 together. So they'll have two different support systems to learn and then improve their English. And that's as a degree seeking student.
Oh, okay, that's great. That's wonderful. All right. Now, for both of you, I guess you've seen a lot of applications, perhaps from international students. So perhaps you could tell us what kind of profile your institutions are looking into international students. What kind of students you would like to welcome at your institutions?
That's a tough question. I always like to say every student is individual, right? I don't like to generalize and say these are things that you must have. I like to
Mm,
look at every student individual. I do take a look at, even though we don't require the personal statement, I look at the personal statement. I'm still looking at the other scores as well. And ultimately we're making a decision as a committee. So it's not just my decision to say, hey, the student must get in, right? A whole committee's. But ideal student for us, we're looking at someone that's ambitious, someone that's hardworking, someone that perseveres, right? So taking on challenges and to be able to say, hey, this is a challenge and I want to do well on it. We want to give an opportunity to a student who wants to better themselves, who wants to take their situation out and improve themselves. So again, a student that you and Alejandro also recommend, right? I take your suggestions very seriously. So if you reach out to me, say, Abdul, Fatima, we have this wonderful student we think might be a great fit, right? But we don't know. Um, can you give them a chance? We'll take your words. And obviously, we want to make sure all the documents match up, that they have the proper proficiencies and things like that. If everything match up, I want to give a student a chance because somebody gave me a chance. That's why I'm here today. So I want to repay that back, and it's a full circle moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's really more of the same for Brooklyn College as well. Right, if you have all the documents that you need, so everything's taken care of, it's hard to say that this is the type of student we have. We have a whole range of students, so if you're ambitious, if you're hardworking, right, you have goals, we're here to help with that, right? So it's a whole different variety of students that we take. Just make sure you have all your, application stuff in order, and that's like the main, yeah.
right. Would you say, Fatima, that SATs examinations are not let's
No
see,
longer a thing. No longer
it's
a
not
requirement.
necessary for international students, even if they would like to apply to any kind of scholarships?
Well, that depends on the scholarship then. But as
Right.
far as strictly admission goes, it's not something that's considered anymore.
Okay. All right. Now, what kind of things, or let's see, I don't want to say the word money, but what kind of help campus jobs would provide international students? What kind of savings for them it would be affordable once they get into campus jobs?
So it's not a lot, right? It's a 20 hours per week. It's also very
Mhm.
competitive. But
Mm.
from my colleagues across the campus that I hear is that they love the international students because I don't want to say they're better than the regular student, but they're definitely more hardworking. They're more they're on time, they're present, they're focused. They don't make a lot of money, $20 an hour, as I mentioned, but that's still something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So that
Of course.
helps with food, at least the foods, supplies, and transportation for the week. That's certainly that can happen. It is competitive, right?
Mm.
And again, you guys work with US the State Department. There's going to be a lot of changes when it comes to that as well. So you just need to be persistent. A lot of my students, when they first came in first semester, they were so sad that they didn't get a job. Year two, their first semester, they got a job. And again, you build up yourself, you build up a network on campus. Hopefully, our goal is that you do this job, you get some skill sets, and you apply for better jobs where you're making a lot more money.
I mean, yeah, every bit helps, especially in New York. Every penny helps. So,
Right.
regardless of how much it is, you're earning something. And of course, the greatest thing out of that is experience. You're getting comfortable with, the language, the people, how things work. So it's great experience. And again, it's better than no money.
Of course, definitely. That's definitely okay. That's great. Wonderful. Alejandro, is there anything that we have? Any additional questions?
No questions.
Okay. All right. But before we leave, is there any, let's see, any final words, any words of advice that you could provide to our audience this afternoon?
I would just say start your process early because visa process can take time. So make sure you have everything in order. If you have questions, if you're unsure about something, definitely reach out. We do have a great team as far as admissions go. So reach out, ask questions. And of course, just thank you for joining. And I hope, you'll consider CUNY for a part of your journey because we're here to support you. So,
Yeah, I also just want to say thank you to all of you guys, Marcos, Alejandro. You guys are superstars, the real MVPs. But when you are looking at a journey, especially for you guys, as a F1 attendees, is that the destination matters, right? Where you go to school matters. So do your researches early. The city matters, the environment matters, where you get OPTs, CPTs, opportunities, those matter. The price tag of the school does not automatically define whether your journey is going to be as good as the person that paid $95,000, right? You have to be honest with yourself to say what's my reach, what's my goal, and what's my safety score, right? It's okay to be ambitious, but I'm not saying don't get lost in the media saying just because the media is showing this is the right way. Be honest with yourself. Talk to Education USA advisors. Obviously, they are great. They know the universities a lot better than you guys. Don't believe what the internet says always. And most importantly, believe yourself that you can accomplish and anything is possible.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Great words of advice for our audience this afternoon. So there you go, guys. Please, you have all these wonderful opportunities that a higher education in the United States can provide to you. And we wanted to give you this information, this model of opportunities that you have in a couple of institutions in New York. But always keep following your dreams. And if you need some advice, try to reach out and find out an Education USA advising office in the country. Here in Peru, we are in different cities. Mine, for instance, is located in the city of Trujillo, up in the north of the country, and Alejandro's is in Cusco. But we have more advising officers in different areas of the country. So try to reach out to us so that we can provide you more guidance and help. Well, thank you. I want to thank you again, Abdul, Fatima, for this wonderful presentation. Hopefully we will have you sometime soon again in Peru, Abdul, and Fatima. You're always welcome to visit our country sometime in the future. And well, that's it for this afternoon. Thank you so much and take care.
See you guys. Bye bye.
okay.